Howdy y'all. I'm gonna do a real quick video on how to replace your starter on a 6.9 or 7.3 IDI. First thing you want to do is disconnect both battery terminals on the left and right side. And then now we're gonna head underneath the truck and begin working. So you don't need too many different tools. What you'll need is a standard set of sockets and an 8mm, small 8mm socket, and a few extensions. You'll need a 3/8 socket as well. And the starter is located right under here, right near the wheel. Here it is. First thing we're going to want to do is disconnect the wiring from the solenoid, and then we're going to take the starter bolts off. There's 3 of them, and then it should just come right out. And we'll be replacing it with a high torque starter that I found on Amazon. So to start off, there's an 8mm bolt, and it's behind these 2 bolts right here. It's hidden way right here in the back. It's very small. It's just an 8mm bolt. And then we're gonna take a 5/8 wrench and disconnect this bolt right here. This 1/2-inch bolt or nut, you do not have to disconnect this 1/2-inch nut. This is the solenoid that attaches the wiring to the starter, so you don't have to disconnect this 1/2-inch, but you do need to disconnect this 5/8. So all we're gonna need is the 8mm, 5/8, and then 3 1/2-inch bolts. 1, 2, and then there's a 3rd one behind here. So to get off the 3rd starter bolt that's way back here, I'm going to be using a few extensions. I have here a Craftsman set of extensions and socket thingies that I got from Ace Hardware, and I'm going to be using 3 out of the 4, 3 of these extensions. I'm going to be using this one, and this other one right here. You don't need the long one. The long one's actually gonna impede the way, but I'm gonna put these together and I'll show you. So I put all 3 of them together on my 1/2-inch on the 3/8 drive, and it just fits perfectly back here. Let me see if I can. And now it fits perfectly back there, where I can have just enough room right behind the starter and before the engine cross member, so I can ratchet it off. And then to get these bottom 2 bolts, I just use a little swivel socket and just get it right off. And then make sure to have 1 bolt in place just a little bit loosely whenever all the other 2 bolts are out, so that way the starter doesn't fall on your face. And then slowly thread the last bolt out while holding the starter up with your other hand, and bring it down because it's pretty heavy. And then we'll install the new one. So one of the best ways to get these cone starters out is to drop the solenoid towards you and pick up the back end and lift it towards the engine, and it'll slide right out. Okay. For that last starter bolt, I couldn't get to anything but this little 1/2-inch wrench. These other 2 were really easy, but that 3rd starter bolt is so important to get in. So make sure that you at least go and tighten it down snug with a 1/2-inch wrench. And now we just button it up and see if she turns on.